Hello.
Hello.
Rudy,
Hello,
Rudy.
beautiful.
Right.
I was just checking to make sure my thoughts were mine right now.
No, that's a problem, right?
Is it?
Yeah, it's everybody says I had a thought, and we go
Did you
ask,
really? Did you
where
now?
did it come from? And if you just take basic neurological science, the information had to come in before the actualization of that into speech or thought. So shows you there's a time lag from somewhere sometime, which would indicate the presence of something other than yourself. So there. What do you
I was
think?
watching a video about Isaac Bentov today.
Who?
Isaac Bentov, I think is his name.
Who is this?
Isaac Bentov?
Yeah.
Sound and frequency,
Huh.
and then seeing stuff behind your eyes. And then his wife explained it pretty carefully. I didn't retain it. I mean, I did somewhere, but not because I was vacuuming while I was listening. But
Well,
he
there's the world outside. And we call it a photonic world. That's the one we majority of our senses are engaged with. And then when you close your eyes, there's still a photonic world, but it's a screen. And one of the tricks in meditation is be able to dial that screen anywhere you want, just like using a remote on the TV. So,
hmm.
so that's entertainment. And for those that can't do it, they take DMT and psychedelics and all kinds of things to be able to get a view, a different screen, kind of like subscribing to cable or something. All right. So there you go.
It's all gone too far.
Well, it's certainly exceeded the bandwidth of the majority of people, we'll put it that way.
Well, and it's exponentially expanding faster,
Oh yeah.
like a Richter scale.
Yeah. No,
I
we've
think it's probably already tipped, and it's like the tsunami of something is coming, I feel like, and it's I'm not talking physical, although that might happen too. Um, but it's already these giant waves of stuff.
yeah.
I mean,
Well,
to the point we're like we started, like I had a thought. Did you really?
yeah.
Did you really? Because
Yeah.
the psyops and the MK Ultra, like the government's not controlling you. Google is. They farmed that out to the corporations too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's why that never really be UFO disclosure because the information doesn't reside with the government. By farming it out to corporations, a corporation doesn't have to answer anything. Okay. So, so all the information buried from, Bigelow, JPL, all these companies that are doing the research, they say, well, the government's researching, what do they call them? UAPs. No, they're not. They contract that out. And the people that they contract to have non-disclosure agreements. Imagine that, right? So,
How many NDAs have you had to sign in your career?
how many have I signed in my life? Maybe a dozen. I don't know.
And
Right?
are they still in play now? I mean, do you have to like till the day you stop breathing,
Oh,
your physical body? Like what?
I'm OLD. right?
Yeah, but that they're counting on all the OLG people to go bye-bye now. And if the young people don't go, they'll make them go. I don't think that's conspiracy theory. I think that's
No,
wet works and
no. All you gotta watch is Soylent Green and Zardoz. They'll tell you the ultimate outcome. Oh, Clockwork Orange, you know. There's a definite outcome for old people. So I'm glad I'm not old. I would never uh, cater to that idea, right? It's not worth it.
the love and light and love and light and love and light, all this love and light, it's dangerous. It makes people disconnect from and
No,
conflate.
no, 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 no.
It's
You got anybody that loves something, and we talked about that last time. You know, Trump loves war, let's say. He loves money more, right? That tells you what we call the uh, first principles that he works out of, you know? And then you take all the people on Wall Street. What do they love? War. What do they love? Money, right? And what do they tell you? Love God, love this, because they don't want you in the game, right? So,
well, but this is what I'm saying. It's like it's misleading and it's dangerous because people just get more lulled into this idea of some kind of utopia when you've got to be able to balance both and check out from all, you know?
yeah, it's you've just been programmed wrong, right?
Yeah, but yeah, but there's so many, it just seems a little futile.
Well, that's why the ultimate act of resistance is to withdraw, right? Don't play no more. Take your ball and go home. Go find another ball court, right? That's what we used to say.
What if I don't want to play ball? What if I just want
Well,
to wake up
if
and play
you
with the
if
animals
you
and do my shit and go to
landed in
sleep?
New York City, you would be picking up your ball and going to find someplace else to play. Why? Because the rules and the rewards didn't work out. Okay. It's true for everybody, right? Like I say, that's why the greatest act of resistance is to move on. This isn't working and step away from the table. That's what makes it fun.
Hmm. I mean, I'm not complaining. My brain is
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily in some dumpy place. I'm pondering as I'm listening to you.
Yeah.
Um,
I'll give you an example. I was at the grocery store earlier, and the lady behind me, she's probably in her 60s or so, and she's stacking up steaks and pork chops and you know what I mean, all these meat. You know, I look at her. She goes, "I'm on that meat diet, and I'm carnivore." And I go, "Wow." I said, "How you doing with that?" And she goes, "I'm doing great. I decided to ignore what my doctors were telling me." Right? And I started eating the carnivore diet, and my blood pressure's normal. My all my, I mean, she is a happy camper. Why? She chose to ignore the establishment. She chose to pick her ball up and go play somewhere else and pay attention to something that might actually benefit her. And I was telling her about Jordan Peterson doing the same thing. And so you can make changes in your life. They don't have to be radical.
no.
But they don't have to be GLP-1 either, right?
Well, exactly. I mean,
You know?
I'm looking at the things on Amazon that are EBT friendly, so I have no problem. Like if you buy food coherently, like even in New York City, I have no problem staying within a budget because
Yeah,
I don't eat. Look, your stomach is this big.
right.
And if you eat a little bit all day long, or like I do, eat two meals that aren't that huge,
Yeah.
it's not expensive. It's when you start the idea, all the commercials, that you need Cheetos, you need Doritos, you need
Oh
these
yeah.
things Cheetos, like I don't know.
I laugh because there were a certain number of people that were resistant to the vaccine, we'll call it, or the vaccine, or you know, whatever they call the damn thing. It happened a couple of years ago.
Mm.
And what gets me is like there were people that were resistant to it that thought maybe that wasn't good for them. Okay. And now you have all over the world, I mean, even in Colombia and different places I've been, people lined up to buy this GLP, weight loss shots or whatever you
Oh,
call
the
them.
Ozempic or the
Yeah.
Manjaro or what?
And so you couldn't force these people to take, let's say, a jab. And they're like, give me, give me, give me, give me, give me, and injecting themselves. And like the world lined up, you know what's in the thing. It's the same routine. You don't know if it's good or bad, right?
You just
Just
want to
like
look skinny. It's the idea that like
yeah,
whose thought is that?
you just watched a commercial on TV. That's all you did. And if you want to know how you end up, look at Janet Jackson, the latest picture of her. They did a picture of her before the screening of the new um, Jackson movie, right?
I'll have
Michael
to go
Jackson.
look. You,
Oh, it is not a pretty picture, I'm telling you, right? And it's like, what? You're rich, but you don't have anybody to tell you the truth around you? Call me. Right? All those people, it's about the way you look
we
and
got
how
to
to be
add
healthy.
Janet to the list of people that need to call you.
Yeah. Oh
Okay,
God, yeah. Right.
Janet, check, check.
Yeah, I just think it's hilarious because you want a result that you don't want to pay for, except for $5 a shot for GOP or whatever, Ozempic, right? Semaglube or whatever they call it.
And
I love that one.
yeah, Glooby Glop.
Yeah.
They call it Glooby, the Glooby Glop waffle. It comes in an
Yeah.
injection.
Yeah.
I don't like.
Anyway, too crazy. So, but here's the problem. Information density. Your GPU, your brain hardware, can process so many bits of information a second, let's call it. And the available data when I was like, let's say 16, was low enough that you could probably process all the information you needed to, okay, including the weather report and whatever limited news that was on only 30 minutes at, you know, 6 o'clock in the evening and 10 o'clock, right? Now, we'll take that as 100% data. Right now, the data available to any average person now is like a million times, a billion times. That's the wave you're talking
That's
about.
what I'm saying. It's like a tsunami of it.
Yeah, because the thing about the transmission of that data, we had radio and TV. Radio was actually more popular than TV back then when I was a kid. Now, the amount of data in the airwaves or in the ether around a person is like a, let's see where it's at. It's over 3,000 times the density it was before. So you literally are fighting against a wave of energy that has a frequency. And of course, one of the little inventions I wanted to do was a little screen that you would put up, kind of like a solar panel. And all you got to do is capture all that electronic radiation that's flowing around the universe, right? it's dense enough that you could power your house out of it, you know, call me. But just think about your own electromagnetic field has to swim through that every day. And then your brain has to process what you're swimming through. And it's like tilt, 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 tilt. You can't do it, right?
Reminds me of a dream I used to have when I was little, where I was trying to walk or run, but I couldn't. And it was, no matter how fast I was trying to go, it was just slow motion. And I was going through like super thick jello. It was resistant. Like, but I
Yeah.
was moving, but it wasn't, it feels like that.
Yeah. Yeah. It has become physical as far as we're able to sense it now, right? And it's a constant pressure. That's how people talk about pressure in their head or in their ears or whatever. And then what it does is it overloads the GPU you have or CPU, and the result of that is you slow down. You slow down all your physical processes, mental processes. You're trying to throw energy out to protect yourself, and you move slower. You see everybody moving slower, right?
But is that what they call getting old, or is that happening to everybody right now because of the
Ah,
amount of crap?
yeah, well, it's getting old in the sense that now you have 20 something years old being old.
Okay,
Right?
so it's everybody. It's not just
Yeah.
us,
Yeah,
us old folk.
that's why I say I'm not old. Why I protect my energy field. So,
Well, I don't know if my energy field is de facto protected from my patterning subconsciously,
say your name.
Leanne.
9 feet is a minimum. We want to maintain a 9 foot field. That was taught in the 60s and 70s. Now I think everybody needs at least a 30 foot or 100 foot energy field. Right?
Better start feeling like
So,
a baby.
yeah, so here we go. Leanne, hold on.
Oh God, why did he laugh?
There we go. Now have a bigger energy field. Okay. Your face changes.
Hmm.
I mean, it's amazing the difference. I mean, I pick it up, but maybe other people don't, right?
If
So,
you're particularly sensitive, I think you've been playing with this stuff since you were little.
yeah, that's why, guess what?
It's happening.
Yeah, it's a guide to self-directed energy work. All this is meant to help you have a bigger energy field and a better body.
That's not,
So
well,
then,
see, better than a Ozempic shot.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
Lasts longer. Don't have to buy it but once. And
well, it's more fun. You get to meet more people. I mean, I don't see people having an Ozempic party where, hey, let's expose our bellies and stab ourselves with a needle, right?
kind of like a Tupperware party, but for 2026 people who
Yeah.
want to, yeah.
Yeah, I think they used to call them crack houses, but I don't know what they call them now,
Wow.
right?
Wow, crack houses.
Yeah, you can
That,
find Ozempic houses in LA all over the place, probably.
wow.
Did, did you get your Ozempic today, right?
Right? It used to be, did you hug your child today?
Yeah.
Now it's, where's your shot? Did you get your jab here? Get your jab here. Like instead of peanuts at the baseball game, they're probably selling Ozempic.
Well, it's
Popcorn,
just
cigarette,
like just like
Ozempic.
at the what do they call it? The press conference the other night.
Oh,
You didn't see a whole lot of fast movement going on. Maybe they should have had an Olympic party before it got started, you know? Lose a little weight, move a little faster, do a little
get
dance.
down tonight.
Yeah.
Get down tonight. Do a little dance.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
that, yeah, that was quite a show. It's,
Yeah, it's actually that was probably one of the worst ones ever. It was really bad.
Well, I was okay until they afterwards said the guy had written, are you ready? A manifesto, you know?
Oh, and he's from LA. Don't forget that.
Yeah. But the thing gets me is like, I thought we got rid of people that could write manifestos. And he wrote it out. Not like he doesn't have a, what do you call it? Like
Computer or laptop or
a
an iPad or
computer, chat GPT,
maybe
something.
he was the last generation, or maybe he was the last year they taught cursive.
I
Maybe.
don't know because I've taught a lot of skills, let's say, to certain special forces people and whatever, uh, fighters, we'll call them. And one of them I never taught was how to write a manifesto. I feel like I have been deficient in my teachings of other people. And so now I have to go back and teach them English and how to, what do you call it, write cursive and how to be incoherent over 200, 300 pages. I mean, it's a hard job. I don't even think ChatGPT can be incoherent for that length of time. They can be hallucinations. Of course, we don't want to say the boy had hallucinations. So,
Yeah.
because
Well,
we're the only ones having hallucinations, like the guy that,
David Wilcock.
no, the one that was up in, where's that, Ohio, Indiana, wherever they had the little incident, with Mr. T
Oh,
a few years back. And anyway, it's like, are these people hallucinating? No. Are they, what do you call that? Majestic 12? Are they psyops? Are they, no, they're just bad script writers. I mean, the camera angles are all wrong. Everything inside the room was high definition. And then you have a streaker in basically a gun sight camera, right? It's just like,
oh,
no, production values were low. I'll put it that way, right?
they need to call Dean Devlin.
And why does he have a name like a full English name? Not to pick on the English, but so did the one that was down in Mar-a-Lago trying to shoot his way in. Why does he have a full English name? Because it's just very rare to get Cole Allens, right? Unless you're David Allen Coe. I mean, but Alan Thomas Coe, you know, David Allen Coe, you don't have to call me darling, darling. You don't even have to call me by my name. And of course, it always has to be three names. So there. So anyway, there you
Yeah.
go. I don't know what's going on. I think
Well,
anybody, meaning you and I, could do a better production than what they put on the other night. So there. Call it, right? Because obviously the people you have directing and writing scripts are terrible, right?
it's it's not their fault. It's because the people keep showing up and accepting it.
Oh, I
Like
think
it keeps feeding on itself. It's
no,
awful.
I think they're just underpaid and don't want to pay for the creative talent, right?
I want my tax money back.
Right? Huh?
I want all my tax money back. I want it back.
Oh, that's gone. Anyway, David Wilcox.
Yeah.
I
What
actually,
about David Wilcock?
I actually knew the person, right?
I have a
He
friend
was,
who,
he was always very kind to me. I'll put it that way, right? How's that?
were his thoughts his own that day?
Huh?
Were his thoughts his own that day?
No, what people don't know and hasn't been revealed, what they call that, I'm a whistleblower. I saw emails right before all this blew up where there were certain people that were coercing him to sign contracts to give away all this intellectual property and let them manage him for some outrageous part. And I physically saw those emails. I ended up being privy to them through another person. And, when you get people that are, let's say,
Predatory.
yeah, when people are rich and think they're powerful, they come in and they're like, they just overwhelm your thinking if you're not capable of resisting it. And, even if you are capable of resist after a while, you end up giving in because of the relentless pressure they're putting you under. Because they're not just telling you they want you to sign away stuff, they're threatening you at the same time. And they were threatening the hell out of him. Like I said, I read the emails. So anyway, nobody talks about that. They just talk about this, that, and the other. But the, the thing about David was that he was legitimately putting out information that he believed to be true. You got that? So, whether it's true or not, he legitimately believed it to be true, and as such enters the realm of being an entertainer. And his subject of entertainment was UFOs and the cabal and, 20 and back and whatever the hell else he was into, right? So there you go, right? You got to have people that want to go with their imagination, right? It's like the hippie song, "Let your freak flag fly," right? Let your imagination out there, because we are losing it like crazy by accepting what I call poor productions, like the party the other night. So there you go. And the thing that happens is you don't remember your playlist. Like what happened to Epstein and what happened to Iran and what happened to oil prices and what happened to Biden and what happened to Melania's birthday today. Happy birthday, Melania. No, all that got lost. Last night, the other night, she lost the ability to have people go happy birthday to her. That's a tragedy, right?
Well,
The way you look at it. Everybody should celebrate their birthday.
especially Melania.
Yeah. Yeah, she made it another year. Like I said, remember, I have a medal to give to her next time I see her, right?
Yeah,
So,
maybe she and
yeah,
the robot went to a quiet place.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Maybe
Mm-hmm.
that's why there was maybe I was thinking maybe she set up all that brouhaha so that she could run away with the robot unnoticed for her birthday. Maybe that's who set
No.
it up.
And I
But
tell
then
you why. I was watching the video of it,
I
the
still
last
haven't seen
one.
it.
And when the shots were fired, she was laid back and she went forward, and out of her mouth came the words, "What's happening?" Right? Just like that. What's happening? So if you read lips, you can pick
Hmm.
all that up from the video. And and of course, nobody knew what was happening. Chaos reigned. The guys with the guns had to come out and assume the stance. The whole time they were doing that, the guys streaking through the lobby. Who shot who? We don't know. You know, And why, if he had all those weapons and nobody shot at him, why did he end up on the ground with no wounds, no trauma, no damage, nothing? Because in most of those circumstances, people are pretty rough with an perpetrator, we'll call it, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, so there's a lot of production values, a lot of jumping the shark going on. Do better, people. Come on, do better. So you should have your greatest hits list, and you should take one off every time you add another one. So if you added Wilcox and you added the, you know, press conference, if that's what it was, I thought it was an advertisement for a new ballroom, is what I thought it was. So
Probably.
yeah,
Advertisement, it was a psyop for the necessity of a new ballroom.
Well, just remember, we are not 200 trillion in debt. I don't care what anybody says.
No, we're more than
And
that, probably.
yeah, and you shouldn't pay any attention to that because you should be watching your TV about who shot who, you know? I mean, the guy's probably singing a song right now, so what's that song? I shot the sheriff, but I did not shoot the deputy. Who's that, Bob Dylan or something?
Oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah, yeah. And it's like, our jails are getting full of wannabe assassins. I mean, this is just, it just shows you the poor quality of talent out there. That's all I can say. They've obviously never had training like I do. So, anyway.
Yeah.
So, and that's my recommendation, people. Make your greatest hit playlist of all the things you're worried about and limit it to 10 if you can. We used to say five, but I'm trying to be nice to people, they say. And, and at some point, if you add one, you take one away, right? Kind of like toys with children. If you buy them a new toy, you got to throw an old one away, right?
I thought it was if you get a new one, you get to throw two away.
Yeah, that works. And Nancy Pelosi made 32 million this week.
She did.
Yeah,
You should
stock
send
market.
some to me.
Yeah. Are you kidding? These are the greediest people on earth, right?
It's a couple
Yeah,
hundred
like
thousand
what are you
dollars.
going to do with it? Yeah, what you going to do with it, Nancy? Right?
I don't know. If you ask me what I would do with it, retreat and be quiet and not bother anybody. Just mind my business. Dude,
Anyway, too funny. I'm just like, I just don't have it in me to write a manifesto, so I will never be a problem to
I
this.
think you don't know how to write cursive. That's what I think.
No,
Aha!
I do beautiful. I actually practice it.
You know what? I think you probably have really good penmanship, all kidding aside.
I bought a book like How to Write Cursive, and you
Like for the
practice.
second grade, you
Yeah,
know,
just like we did with the Big Chief tablet, right? Not Little
yeah,
Chief, not little Saskatchewan or whatever.
little Sasquatcha.
Yeah, yeah. Sarko, whatever. They made a coin out of her, right? I think they made up that Indian name. I really do. I don't
Hiawatha?
know if she was Chippewa, which she might have been.
I'm sorry they didn't take over and make the white man sit the meow down.
Man, it's just one of the great mysteries of life. If you don't want to know what a mystery, like they want to bring in the mysteries of like the pyramids and Machu Picchu and, Donald Trump. Those are all great mysteries in life, right?
Well, if there's another shaking of the earth and we all go away and there's the cataclysm, um, and they start finding laptops and dumb shit, they'll think that that is absolutely funny. They'll think it was weird stuff that these people used to use because I'm sure whatever next reboot,
Yeah. Yeah.
they'll they'll
One of,
they'll up the
yeah, that's called complexity theory. It's like you go fly on an airplane. Well, somebody had to build the airplane. Somebody had to figure out the metals. Somebody had to figure out the wiring. Somebody had to figure out how to fuel it. Somebody figure out how to guide it. I mean, it is like so interconnected around the world right now that little things happen in Iran that are going to have big impact here. That's the gas prices and shutting your home because remember you're going to be forced to lose weight without Ozempic. You just can't afford to eat or go anywhere.
That's
So
okay. You know what? I
welcome
used to
to
be able to buy beef brisket, which isn't any particularly amazing cut of beef.
right.
It used to be on EBT. No more EBT. It won't
Yeah.
cover that, but it'll cover Flamin' Hot Doritos or whatever
Yeah.
they sent here by accident. Some awful, like it was some knockoff Hawaiian bread, which is like got more sugar in it than,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
oh man, and flaming hot Cheeto Frito something.
Yeah. That's why the work I do, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, psychic, that's the first spot. You're under attack for all of them, right? You're constantly under attack. That's why this.
Yeah,
Emotional,
like even
spiritual,
when you
psychic,
sleep, you're under
psychological,
attack.
etheric, astral, causal. That's all the wave activity, radio wave, electronic waves, right? And then
There's
they add
nowhere to
the
go.
quantum level information. It's like, oh man, you're in for it now.
The only place to go is that place, what's it, Green, whatever it is in West Virginia, where they have that big telescope. So you're by this telescope that's trying to pick up any and all signals in a place like it's got so much crap coming out from it that it doesn't want any interference. So within like you've got to be in the black zone or whatever zone it
Yeah,
is.
it's called a dead zone.
Dead, yeah, they make a
Yeah,
dead zone and you've got to like
yeah,
drive 10 miles away from that town if you want to
yeah,
put your cell phone on. So everybody's got Ethernet and they're wired. They're not
yeah.
Wi-Fi.
Well, you just got to remember there's intelligent dead zones like in DC and LA and other
Hmm.
places around the country, right? That's very obvious, right?
Starting to think New York is turning into one.
Yeah, yeah, that's an intelligent dead zone, right? That's what people don't understand. When you get a let's see if I can put it right, cumulative level of intelligence that is below 200 on David Hawkins' scale, then you're not going to optimize, right, any kind of positive outcome. How's that, right? And if you go down below 100, now you're in places like Haiti and places in Africa where your lifespan is measured in days. Okay. So escape from New York, escape from LA, escape from Mar-a-Lago.
Do you think
Millennium,
that there are
Millennium.
tribes in Africa someplace who are far more emotionally coherent, even though
Yeah.
they might have a high IQ? Like it's almost better to be disconnected and live in the jungle someplace and hope that you don't catch malaria from some shithead mosquito.
Well, they have it's not a tribal, the tribe represents a shared consciousness. It's not about a shared bloodline or anything. I mean, it could.
Right.
So when you have a small group, you can share consciousness, and meaning you can be emotive and other people pick up on it. That, you live in a house and 10 houses away, they're going, oh no, she's having a problem today, right? You're constantly aware of your little group, but as soon as you put too many people in one place, you can no longer be aware of the consciousnesses that are around you, right? And we see it even with animals. Like you have animals, but do they have you? In other words, are you sufficiently maintaining an interactive quality that is more tribal or pack-like? That's why there was a great book one time written called, I met the lady who wrote it, Women Who Run with Wolves or something like that.
Mm.
Right? And anyway, it deals with the idea that we are pack animals, carry an extra 100 pounds, but that we have and operate better in small defined groups, right? So I tell people,
Clarissa Pinkola Estes.
who?
Clarissa Estes? Women Who Run with the Wolves. Maybe it's different.
Yeah. And there's another one called The Wolves and Men. Maybe that was the one I was thinking of Wolves and Men. Who's that written by? And I used to tell people that were going to get married, women that were going to get married, read of Wolves and Men, you'll have a better relationship. We should do a movie of it.
Barry Lopez of Wolves and Men.
No.
No.
Yeah. maybe. I don't know. She was an author up in sci-fi. Maybe. I don't remember all the ones I was running around with.
Okay, I'm gonna stop having the disconnect and checking things while we're
Yeah.
talking.
So there you go.
Stop that now. So
Anyway, exciting times, exciting times.
it
Right?
is. I had some exciting times the other day. It's on Saturday. I
Yeah,
woke up and I saw like the part of a $20 bill, and I thought, uh-oh.
yeah,
And I looked at the dog, and I called my friend Linda and my friend Carol, and they said, well, maybe it'll come out the other end. So I said, well, I already got rid of most of from this morning. I don't know, man. So sure enough, later that afternoon, the rest, like the 10 was completely, I found almost all the pieces, soaked it in Clorox, then I soaked it two more times, rinsed it and soaked it again.
well,
And but oh, please.
in
So
other words, you're over there laundering money, right?
I was laundering money and the 20 didn't make it so hot. The 10 was okay. I'm thinking the bigger piece of the 20 was maybe in the earlier load, but whatever. So I went to the bank and they told me that they could order me a kit, which should be here, I don't know, soon. And then I can follow the instructions and put everything in a bag and march it down to Chase Bank and they'll send it to the US Treasury. And
Yeah,
then I'll eventually get a credit for 30 bucks.
yeah. No, um, I had one that was like about a it probably was half of that was still available. I don't remember where I found it, but I took it to the bank. They took one look and said, "Yeah, no problem," and come back out and hand me another $20 bill. They didn't ask for nothing. They took care of all of it. That's a better bank, by the way.
Yeah, better, you got better customer service than I did because the 10 was intact. Like they say not to tape it, so I didn't, but I put it all back together. I
Yeah.
mean, if I figured out how to use the share my screen on this thing, you know. Anyway, well, so yeah.
Yeah, and I have a problem with Elon
Oh, why? What'd he
Musk's
do?
robots. How come he doesn't do fat robots? And I wonder why. Right?
Because he doesn't want Ozempic robots.
That's what he
He-
has now, right?
Well,
It's like,
it's sentient Ozempic robots
yeah,
versus like the Tin Man who needs oil, like in The Wiz.
yeah. Put
Uh,
put a little weight on those things. That'd be a little more believable. Right? So
Give him some waffles, some
yeah,
jalapeno
very good.
pancakes.
Yeah.
That'll help.
Anybody curious this beautiful day?
I'll give you one guess.
Uh-oh.
I want to play the IQ game again.
Okay.
How many you want to do? Give me a limit.
I don't know. I mean,
Oh, come on.
who do you want to start with? Hezek, or
No,
Cash Patel? I mean,
no.
Patel, isn't that somebody that runs motels? Cash Patel, motels? I don't know.
I don't know. I had a guy named Hitesh
Patel's on
Patel
over
downstairs
the
who used to run
Patel.
the smoke
Yeah.
shop.
See, now that's a tribe. That's a tribe. The Patels came in and took over every motel in America, right? So,
Is this where there's supposed to be a racist 7-Eleven joke?
no, it's a transnational at work, right? They should be applauded. They took an idea of, do well and then support their own family doing well and bring them over and get them to do well and support their family doing. I mean, it just in 40 years you can make a difference. There's a
Like a
lot of
L'Oreal
people.
commercial for shampoo.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in this country could benefit by following that program.
Well, yeah, but then too many people follow the program and then it doesn't work anymore. So you got to find a new
No,
program.
you just got to find your niche, right?
Your niche.
They took motels. I mean, how many people want to run a little motel in Buda, Texas, right?
If it was like Schitt's Creek, I would do it.
Yeah.
I like that show. I do. It's fun. Um, yeah, well, the provocateur has questions.
So,
I wish Godzilla would show up, but um okay. So I'm gonna okay. I don't want you to turn into a party trick though. If it makes you feel like a party trick, we don't have to do it.
what?
Guessing or t not guessing, telling people IQs. If I give you a name. I
Oh
don't
no.
want you to feel like you're a party trick.
Okay, this is for entertainment purposes only and should not be construed as truth any more than what you get from the United States government. So go.
Okay, there, perfect. There's your
Yeah.
disclaimer.
See?
Okay, here's the first name. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Sean.
Sean,
Sean.
128.
Really?
Yeah.
So
Remember,
you know what P. Diddy's given name is, right?
uh, P. Diddy, is that Sean? Is
Sean.
it? Let's go with P. Diddy and see. Because here's people don't realize there can be
Really?
other personalities.
I was just gonna say Sean Combs might not be the same
Yeah, same person as,
personality, like because a lot of times, even back in the old days, you'd have a gay leading man and the PR would have them always hanging out with a woman, but like they'd
right.
be home with men, but like everybody saw them having an affair with Marilyn Monroe, but it
They
was
still
fake.
do that.
Well,
Yeah.
exactly. So this is just like the same thing. So, one personality is P. Diddy, the other one's Sean. Like Sean
Right.
might be a nice boy. All
P.
right,
Diddy
so
IQ 128. It's the same. But if we went how many personalities does he have, we'd say four. How
are
many
you?
entities does he have? Maybe like 2,000. There's nobody home and there's too many radio stations playing in his head. How's that?
Wow.
Right? Yeah. That's autistic level, by the way. Right?
Really?
Yeah. Mm.
Well, that was one of my questions is what energetically, what is autism?
I've worked with uh last 30 years working on autistic. They brought one to me and then another. Eventually, I get a hold of one every once in a while. Um, the best way to describe it, and the thing I found out, I won't get into origins, but you normally only have, let's say, like you, how many voices you have? Let's say you have four or five voices in your head. Okay.
Hmm.
So now instead of saying voices, we're going to say you have four or five channels that you listen to, kind of like on the TV or the radio.
Right.
Radio,
When you tune
idea.
into like the manic one, then you tune
So
into the pragmatic one,
yeah,
then the other one
and
says you two
so
sit down, like the show Herman's Head.
yeah, so you have about 24 channels on your radio station playlist. Okay, you,
Me.
yeah, 30 and under is normal. Okay. In other words, you can receive information on those channels, and together they form what we call local reality, what I call
Okay.
local reality. Now, the autistic children, one of the things I found out is that they may have 5,000 channels playing. And so when you speak to them, they don't hear you. You're just one more of 5,000.
Mm,
And one of the things I was able to do with several autistic children is shut down the number of stations that they're receiving. And I did it with a 5-year-old in Texas. He was nonverbal. And the day I left, his mother walked in at breakfast and started the normal routine of what's your name and how are you? And he responded to her
hmm.
because he could finally hear her and separate her out from the other stations, okay, from the other radio stations that were inputs. So all autistic, like let's go with Elon. Elon, let's see how many stations he has playing in his head.
Probably got like 10,000.
It's like a million
Yeah.
stations,
It's,
right?
it's a
And,
lot.
and that's why when they ask him a question, he has to bring the information in of the question you're asking, and then he has to like, okay,
Right. There's that lag, and you can see him kind of look up
yeah,
and
yeah.
go,
And it's a lag time because he's reorienting and then he opens that channel up and he can interact with it. But most of the autistic children, severe autism, they don't have, they're non-interactive with their physical space, and they're overactive, interactive with the energetic space or the information flow. And remember, it's 5,000. If you heard, if I blasted 30 different radio stations at you at the same time, what would be the result? And that's how we look at it. The result is you're catatonic, or you don't move, or you're kinetic, like you can't sit still because you're trying to figure out how to shut it down. And when you shut it down, it's phenomenal. I had a very wealthy lady in where was it? Potomac Park in DC, and she requested me to come out, and I sat down, big old mansion, usual routine. And her son was 24, and he was autistic, and he didn't communicate. And I'm sitting there, and finally I got the channel open. I could talk to him. He would answer my questions.
Mm.
And she'd go, "What's going on?" I go, "We're just having a conversation. I'm just relating the information." And so he could talk to me, but he still couldn't verbalize, but he could do it
Mhm.
psychically, right? And so at one point, he turned to me and psychically or telepathically goes, "Are we done?" And I go, "Yeah." And I'm talking, and he immediately stood up and left the room, right? And his mother's like, "What happened?" And I go,
We were
"He
done.
said he was done. I mean, what do you want?" Right?
Just leave him
But
alone. He
as
was
far as
done.
like, I said, if you let me work with him, right, I could probably get him to a verbal stance, and that was a something that my ego says I could do something like that. But a part of it's there, it's on them too. So it's just I do what I do, and he does what he does, and see if we can't make a difference. But I've had several that I've been able to make a difference with that way.
What
And
about schizophrenics? What's the difference between schizophrenic and autism energetically? Like
it's the strength of the thought
signal?
form, the alternate identity or non-local consciousness, NLCs. So a schizophrenic, I give it. This is really important. David Wilcox does not kill himself. I have a rule I've discovered after working with thousands of people. Humans don't kill themselves. That which is demonic or non-local consciousness kill humans. All right. In other words, the person pulling the gun, David, was already gone. All right. It's kind of like you get a walk-in, is what we call them.
Mm.
And so everybody out there that's schizophrenic or, crazy, the clinical term, they're not crazy. They have other conscious in there that are wreaking havoc with their ability to maintain a single line of focus, we call a standing wave, which is your own identity and being able to pursue it and the world. So that's how you explain it. And I went to the autism group in DC. There's a foundation there that, or a research group. They didn't want nothing to do with me. I said, "Look, I've been able to make a difference in some of this. We don't want to talk to you." They make money by getting money and doing research. They don't make money by people resolving it, right?
Good. Like
So,
Dr. Sam Parnia didn't want to hear anything about consciousness and
yeah,
that consciousness and your energy body, when it leaves the physical body, you're 24 grams lighter every freaking time. Doesn't matter
yeah,
if you're 800 pounds or
yeah,
a
yeah,
92-pound person. It's the
yeah,
same exact amount that so and he's wanting to put electrodes on my mom's head. And
yeah,
I'm thinking, well, first he said a skull cap.
yeah.
And then this lady shows up and she's got, hold on, hold on, you guys. Like it's right here. Unbelievable. So they're telling me, okay, so they're telling me it'll be easy. They'll put a little skull cap on her, and my mom's checking out, and she's just doing her shallow breathing. And this lady shows up, and she starts pulling out her gear and this thing. And I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" And she's got this whole mess, and she's like, "It's 24 electrodes, and we got to put it all over." I was like, "You know what? Bye. You gotta go now." I was okay
Uh,
with putting a little hat on my
yeah,
mom. I
that
was not okay with like hooking her
yeah
up to, that's insane. And
yeah
so he's
20
telling me how if
oh,
he starts talking about consciousness, he's gonna lose his funding. They won't do it. Guys at
yeah
UCLA
yeah
doing the
Tw-
study.
20 24 in electrodes is like so 70s. I mean, they have now like uh they have nanometer uh electrodes that they can push through your skull, and you have no clue that they're going through, right? They literally kind of separate in between the molecules of your skull and go into your brain, and they can direct them, and they can do all kinds of magic things, right? And that's what basically he, oh, even him, he's working on those chips. That's like, when was that developed? Those chips he's using?
Oh,
84. I mean, it is like 50-year-old technology, 40 if I do my math right. So,
well,
so
what?
you don't know what they got right now because ultimately they don't have to do that. They can do millimeter wave penetrations that set up an ionized path that deliver information back. I mean, I'm not getting into all the science of it, but anyway,
Well,
that's old school.
they stutter. Um, Siemens made a bunch of chips. Like they made several 100,000 of them in the 70s that could
Oh yeah,
do weird stuff. So they, you can only imagine what they're doing now,
oh yeah,
and then the
right.
jab and the mRNA and
Yeah,
that was somebody's
yeah. They
patent and then the copyright. Now there's a copyright lawsuit. So now like all the conspiracy theorists have been vindicated and validated. Why? Because somebody's copyright was infringed. And that's the only reason we know now is because the infringement suit. Like this is insane.
Let me tell you where they're at. It's called bubble technology. If I can create, we'll call it a baryon bubble, some small particle in the universe. If I can create that bubble, then I can look for our bubble. And that's why, like in quantum computers, it's like they'll get to bubble technology at some point. I mean, they're already developing it, but bubble technology lets them put a bubble around you. Remember that 6 feet separation thing, right? Once I've identified that feet, I can pull it out. Right? That's basically what I do when I look at a person or work on a person. It's like I'm pulling information out of their bubble, their field. And that's why we say don't have a 6 foot bubble, have a 9 foot, 100 foot. Why? Because they can't, let's see, can they interrogate a 100 foot bubble? No. If you have a 100 foot bubble, they can't interrogate it. So there.
Right, because the middle of the bubble is so insulated, they can't get
Yeah.
into it.
Well, the information density and energy density, that's why you have more energy, you have more resistance, and anyway, all that stuff.
I feel like there needs to be a train that leaves Penn Station or Grand Central, right? That goes to like some kind of my Randall is Hogwarts. We call it the Gefilte Palace, where you learn how to make gefilte fish and you learn how to read
Uh,
energy and you learn how to have 100 feet bubble.
yeah. The like the Chambers Brothers wrote a song. People get ready. There's a train a coming. You don't need
Yeah,
a ticket. Just get on board.
just
Right?
go, run
Yeah.
far and fast. Okay.
Yeah. It's just like they don't want a cure for cancer.
No.
Money on raising money to cure cancer. Why would you ever want to get rid of something like that? They're just taking a page out of our federal government.
Why have a federal government? Why have an earth? Why have a world? Why have people? Why have any of this? What is the point?
Entertainment.
That's it?
That's it. And you're supposed to enjoy the show,
Okay.
right?
But isn't that
That's why people don't understand. You either participate and play in the great production that's going on. And if you don't do that, you end up serving a purpose. And one of the things you don't want to do is serve a purpose in this life. So if you look at all the homeless people and the sick people and politicians, whatever, they're all serving a purpose. And what is that purpose? To show us how not to be.
the cautionary tales on 2 feet?
Yeah, how not to be. So anytime you see these people, remember they're having a rough go because they're having to show other people how not to be, right?
Huh. Yeah.
Whereas these two, they just gave you a big thick book and called it a Bible or whatever, and it told you how not to be, right? Of course, all that did is
Neat.
sort of a guideline for let me try all these things that they told me not to do because obviously they were never in high school.
Right. As soon as you tell somebody not to do something, they want to go do it and then try it again
Yeah,
after
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
just not get caught. Because
So they
that's
think it's a
right.
guidebook for getting people to live spiritually or whatever. And all it is like, here's the 10 things you need to try.
Okay. You ready for some questions from the
Wow.
provocateur,
Yeah,
the
let's see.
Senor Mateo? Okay. What is a green ray elemental contact?
What
He's
is what?
green ray elemental contact. He's reading psychic self reading? Yeah, I guess reading psychic self-defense again. And he came
Oh, by
across that
Leon
term.
Fortson. Great book. What is Green Ray?
Elemental, green ray elemental contact.
Okay. We, not having been exposed to a language that was prevalent in our stories in childhood, have to make up words to describe things that we don't understand or don't know.
Hmm.
Right. So now to answer your question, what you're trying to describe is a form of energy that you become interactive with. Think about a tree. You know, a tree's a tree, a tree, unless you become interactive with it. Every dog out there and you walk by and you want to pet it. Why do you want to pet it? Because you want to become interactive. You don't want to just pet it. You want to establish that loop, that circuit.
Mm.
Okay. Now, if you establish a circuit with a dog or a tree, the problem is there's a communication problem because we may not speak the same language. It's not that they don't have a language. That's the thing that gets me because you can listen to them in the same way telepathically and you can hear what they're saying. Native American would say the world's a noisy place.
Very.
All the animals, all the trees, all the bushes, everything is like chattering like crazy, right? So the birds will talk to you, the crows will talk to you, the trees will talk to you. And so, in that way, I guess all the Native Americans are autistic because they pick up on so many more channels that other people don't. So Dion Fortune is using language to explain a avenue of connection where additional information is available to you. How's that?
Okay.
Did that answer?
I think so.
Yeah.
I have another question, but I'll let Matt have another. Have you ever studied any
Hello.
ancient Celtic or old Germanic magic?
Well,
Celtic or old Germanic?
there's a band called Hue, HU, and they're throat singing, Russian, um, heavy metal band. Does that make sense? Put all those words together.
Yeah.
So I love them. I went to a concert they did. It is the craziest music in the world, right? So the what they sing is, I'll call it guttural. Okay.
Okay.
That's how they sound, right? And guttural magic is what I call that. Okay. So all the Vikings and Germans and Rus or Russian and Norwegians, all they practiced guttural magic. And what that meant was that the language they used had a specific vibration and frequency to influence their environment. And that's the definition of magic right there. So,
Well, they're playing in New York at the
oh, yeah.
RAD Theater on May 13th, and they're in New Haven, Connecticut, May 14th.
And Oklahoma City on May 20 something or other.
Yeah, let's see, the
Oh,
Milwaukee.
I
Yep,
don't,
Oklahoma City on May 27th at the Diamond
yeah,
Ballroom.
yeah.
Are you going?
Hold on a minute and I'll show you.
Yeah, they look like a bunch of something out of Braveheart. Look,
Oh,
I got to walk
no,
away once, and now he get to do it.
no, they're much stronger than right. It I took Vanna to it and
What'd she think?
she was probably impressed. But you can only take so long, you know.
Oh, wow. Yeah, okay. You must be a fan.
Hey, I'm a Hugh fan. See, I put my bling on. How's that?
Wow.
Right?
Now you look like 50 Cent with your clock.
Yeah, Vanna didn't know I bought this, and then I put it on, and like, so I'm a Hugh fan. And of course, I teach Hugh meditation,
Right.
which is a whole different deal in some ways not. It's a way to vibrate the body.
It's true. Well, we already talked about the
Oh,
bumblebee breath and what it did to me,
yeah.
you know.
Like,
Hey, I was
go
meditating and
through.
then I was seeing the colors. They were what does it mean when they're coming at you? It was like a slow motion version of when I had the squirt of whatever my body made to make me feel like I was, I
Oh,
feel like, and then because there was like this little pinhole and it got bigger and bigger, it was a little weird tonight.
well, it's a form of synesthesia,
Uh-oh.
and that's where you hear colors and see sounds and things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the signal processing in the brain can get what do you call it? Scrambled.
So who needs ayahuasca? Nobody.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's why never do drugs out there. Your brain is already scrambled. It's your job through meditation and all the crap I teach, all the things I teach, to get to a point to where you're not that way, right? That's a point. Get to where you're not scrambled. And if you can't make it, all you got to do is go to the Waffle House and see everybody who didn't make it that are serving as examples of things you shouldn't do or be like.
Well,
Right?
okay, the cautionary tales, but they all teleport. So this is
Yeah.
part of their problem is they're teleporting and this is not good
Right.
because they know how to make somebody disappear, but I don't know that they know how to make them, well, maybe they do come out whole and intact on the other side.
Yeah.
I feel like. Are portals and teleportation and time travel through consciousness and all that stuff, is that part of what the government messes with?
Oh, yeah. They've been messing with that forever. Right.
Like why can't we all play in the portals? Like I don't understand why it has to be just their sandbox.
Portals are physical locations where non-local reality has been warped or changed or doesn't exist. Okay. So you remember that bubble? You carry
Yeah.
a bubble of your reality around with you,
Hmm.
and you're reflective of it with your clothing and hair and everything in the world. But when you go through those things, you're in a reality that doesn't match the one you were in before you did that. Okay. In other words, it's non-local. It's somewhere else. Okay. Now, most people transition from like you walk to the other room. You're transitioning into somewhere else and back, and it's a smooth transition. You
Right.
didn't go like, why, where the hell am I? Why am I in the bathroom or bedroom instead of in the living room where, and then we call that Alzheimer's, right? Because the smooth transition became intermittent. Okay.
Mm.
So now we do all this all the time, and it becomes, they did it through drugs, but like the Tibetans and the Chinese and stuff a long, 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 long time ago, they were able to effectively change their rate of transition. And in doing so, be able to change the location they would end up at. So
And
people talk about bilocation. It's not just I'm here and then I'm here or I'm in both. It's that I found a pathway to get there. And that's some pretty heavy duty meditations and exercises. And if you get 30 people, you can call me and I'll teach them
what if
that.
I have 30 personalities? Does that count?
Yeah. Yeah. We can
And
have a fun.
then we can have a private lesson.
Yeah. We can
That
have a
made
fun.
no sense, but it
Yeah.
did. So what's this about? Like, the idea again with Google, like, and your thoughts being your own, by 2027, I think all cars are going to have some kind of tracking. And just like
They
in the
already
TV
do.
shows, oh, no, no, no. Just like in the TV shows, if you like to smoke a joint and drive, the engine will cut off if it
Oh,
sees you doing that. Like, this is,
yeah. South Korea has a system to where you buy your food and you throw your food away, right?
hmm, no.
The excess or whatever. If you throw too much away, they fine you, right? Right? In other words, they are weighing and measuring everything you eat and drink and everything like you throw away and you get fines. That system's coming here. It'll be here one day, right?
Oh, I'm
And
sure.
so you know, places like Nicaragua, El Salvador, different places around the world. It may be kind of primitive, but it's probably the last freedom place you'll ever have where you can actually kind of, as a man, walk outside and enjoy nature off the porch, we'll call it. Get a man to explain that to you. Anyway, go ahead. So, yeah, there you go.
Off the porch.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Are inorganic beings things like tulpas and thought forms?
Or inorganic beings.
Things like tulpas, Tulpas, or thought forms?
Um, I call them non-local consciousness.
Mm.
Okay. Even a thought form, what we're doing is we have to define, like if I had an imaginary friend, imagine that. Um, call him God or something, um, or dog. The, the implication is just like you, I would say, well, how tall are you and how much do you weigh and how old are you? And I'd ask all these questions. And what am I doing? I'm filling that bubble with information. Okay. Now, the difference is I have something, you, in front of me that I can draw that information from. And I can relate to it. If you say I'm 5'5", I can say, okay, I know what 5'5" is.
Right.
But when you have a dog or God out there, you're going to have to make up all that information, right? Now, if that information is made up and sufficiently energized, we call it conditioning the field. If you have, 100 million people over 100 years praying to Ballal, whatever, right? Then that thought form would achieve some information density, right? And so we have a song about that, right? Praying for a hero. I mean, what is, let's see, what's the other one? Dying for a cowboy. I mean, there's a bunch of music out there. It's it's like so those thought forms achieve density because here's the question: where did all the gods go? There's been 10,000 of them in the last 5,000 years. Where did they all go?
In their spaceships, they went away.
Well, the information density shrunk, and we say the environment for their propagation no longer exists. And what we call that? An extinction level event.
It's about to
So,
happen to us.
so when things become extinct, they lose their energy field first, which is like back to David lost his energy field like 34 days ago or something. He was already gone. People don't realize that. People lose their energy field before they leave the planet. And it's something that you can measure and you can examine and all these other things.
Right. Well, if you're not so busy being distracted by everything.
Yeah. It's kind of like the Epstein song. Where have all the young girls gone? Long time passing. Anyway, go on. Next question.
Okay, I'm not sure I understand this question, but that's okay. When talking about oneself, why does saying a phrase like I am not unfulfilled similar to I am fulfilled? Is this a way of negotiation?
No, it's it's a form of duality in the universe and you need to
Mm.
get out of it. All right.
So is the path of negotiation similar to the path of non-resistance, he asks a little later.
No. The Let's see if I can get this right. Hold on a second. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'll remember all of it in a minute. Mhm. The path of negation. I teach it. I've taught it. I teach it to people that are my students and clients. The path of negation is to sit down and go, like I'm Randy. And then I go, I'm not a father, I'm not a son, I'm not an old, I'm not male, I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm not
Hmm.
a brother. It's the path of negation. What I'm doing is breaking the thoughts that hold me together in my thought form. Okay. We'll call it, you have a thought form exists and independent. We call that 24 grams or centimeter, whatever that you were talking about earlier. It's like I have an existence, but I'm so connected to all this stuff and I need to cut it all loose. So eventually I end up going, I am Randy. And then at some point I just like, that's it. I'm not even Randy anymore because that was never true to begin with.
Right, okay.
But we take that as an initial step. We say, I am Randy, for instance. That is not true because I was something before I was Randy and I'll be something afterwards. And I know that because
Mm,
so now, if I can just get back to Randy, I'm doing good in the world, right? To
yeah.
go beyond that, to go beyond to where I am here now, to where I was before or where I'll be after, is a strong series of meditations and exercises, 30 people, and I'll teach it. There you go. I've taught it before. So the path of negation is what I teach. But to sit there and say I am anything is not true. It's like the people say, I'm Republican, Democrat, Catholic. It's not true. They can't show you that because it's just a thought in their thought form little bubble, right? And they've
Tiny
attached,
bubbles in their Lawrence Welk.
yeah, tiny bubbles. So that tiny bubble of I am anything is not true. Absolutely not true. You're not human. You're not this. You're not that. It's all not true.
It's all the adjectives that I said I wanted to get rid of 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah. So what you do is you break the connection. I call it sanitizing the information.
Information.
Yeah, sanitize the information to where I can look at that person and then go, oh yeah, that's my brother, sister, cousin, boyfriend, husband, whatever.
Hmm.
But I don't need the connection maintained all the time. In other words, it's called intermittent connections. And
Right. You
it's to
know,
reserve your bandwidth, okay, to leave you open to new ideas, new situations, new information.
it makes me think of when you haven't spoken to somebody in 25 years and you run into them and it's like no time has gone by. You just pick up where you left off. It's an intermittent connection that just took a really long,
Because you have that connection.
right.
Right?
The connection never stops just because
Yeah.
time and physicality are in a space. Um, okay, so last week when you spoke of developing an avatar body, is that different from the astral body? He's asking.
Um, you have a physical body interact in this physical reality. Okay. You have a mental body that interacts at a mental level with people. And these are bubbles again. You have an emotional one, a spiritual one, psychic, psychological, etheric, astrocausal, and a couple of dozen others, right? And that conglomerate is what we would call Leanne or Randy. Okay. Now, say his question again.
Is an astral body different from an avatar?
Okay. We, if you look in the mirror, you look and see your physical body, right? If you practice, you can look and see your energetic body. That's a different.
Is that white glow that's around?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's your etheric. It's about 3 inches all the way
Yeah.
around. And I say, don't get on the airplane if everybody doesn't have that etheric field above their head. But if you were willing to do the exercises, I call them meditations, but they're exercises, you would start to be able to see your, let's say your etheric field would be the first one. You would see it in some form. And so we'd say, well, there's this like little bubble around you. Here we go. Or this little 3 inch energy field that goes around, the whole body.
Yeah.
And you can see pictures of it, and we call it an auric field or energy field and all this stuff. Now, the manipulation occurs when you start viewing it a certain way. Okay. In other words, you start imprinting that uh, field that doesn't have any physicality to it or photonic existence. In this case, the etheric has a photonic existence, but we increase the information density into a form that we recognize. Okay, we don't do it into a form we don't recognize. So the idea of forming it into an avataric body is that it is not only a form that you can recognize, it's a form you can manipulate. And this is what happens in all the video games and Tron, the movie Tron and stuff.
Right.
Tron is separation and uh, evanescence and separation. And that's when you, through that process of those two things, you can become the etheric body and move it around separate from the human body, the physical body. This gets into some heavy magic, okay?
Well, yeah, I mean, I feel like the Wizard of Oz right now, imagining myself with some like, control shift control thing and making like or squeeze like how you make icing and then you squeeze it out of the tip?
Yeah.
Like you're squeezing your energy icing into like just whoop, like a lava lamp or something. Like the wax bubble just goes bloop and you just take it and it's concentrated and you make it go do stuff.
Yeah. Well, and that was the early psychic research that was done in the 50s and 60s. It was not just a, everybody wants to talk about remote viewing.
Yeah, but this is before remote viewing. This is
Well, remote viewing was a sanitized form of what they were teaching, which is the development of the avatar body and being able to use it to travel around the universe through
well,
all
so
dimensions, all time, and all space.
if
And
if they're doing that in the 50s, then how are they doing that? What version of that are they doing right now?
I don't know because I've done some of that training. I'll put it that way. I don't, when I like go looking at a person or go looking at a certain place or something, um, I'll give an example. I drive down the road and I go, is there any ghosties out here? I'm driving through the middle of Colorado or
Hmm.
whatever on the plains. And I look over and like about 30 miles away, there's a guy that died in the 1800s or whatever, ran out of water or whatever, right? Now, he still has an energetic presence in the world. We call him ghost or whatever, right? But when you're into that field, you can see things that are not human, okay? So they have an avataric presence in the universe, and they may be like right next to you, but you're not interactive. But when you get an avataric body created and you create that, then you're in a world that is very highly populated. And this gets into everything from portals to whatever. I mean, but basically, the creation of an avatar body is the ability to have a doppelganger, to have another you able to be transcendent throughout the universe, time, and space. So there.
Okay, so if you're in special ops and CIA, do you know how to make an avataric body from yourself? Like, are you,
Well, let's do it this way. Number of people in the CIA right now capable of creating an avataric body is 12. Not very many.
do they have some kind of special clearance that others don't because of that? Or
And then, well, let's keep going. The United States, how many are there? Well, let's go to Monroe Institute, two. So that's not it. SRI in California, zero. Um,
go to
how many? Huh?
Dulce,
Who?
Dulce, the base.
Who?
Dolce, base, the base. Dulce,
Oh, Dulce.
Dulce.
Yeah.
I know, it sounds like I'm talking about some
And
chick.
Dulce, zero. Here's another question. Are quote unquote aliens, not talking about politicians, are they able to create an avataric body? No, it doesn't show. It's a very specialized uh, exercise, endeavor, whatever. Now, number of people that can create avataric bodies in the United States is about 107. How many in the Russia? 300. They have a lot better research than we do. Okay.
Well, Angela Ford told me about when she went to Russia with oh, what's his name? I forgot his last name. Um, Edwin, doesn't matter. Anyway, they were there for a minute and she saw some stuff. They saw some stuff.
Oh, yeah,
My friend Nancy Duterte went over there too.
yeah,
She's she also saw some stuff.
yeah. If we go to let's keep going. And how many in Tibet? How many people create an avatar body in Tibet. Right now it's about 50. That's
What
pretty
about
high.
China?
204. That's quite a few.
Hmm.
Japan, seven. So you see what I mean? It's kind of like looking for cowboys. What do you say? Whatever that song was. Looking for a hero. That's a song.
How many of these people are employed by the government in a clandestine program?
In the United States, about 12, right?
Even though there are 100 that can do it all over the place, are they not
I bet.
identified? Or are they not
How many are identified? 12. The rest of them do it non, let's see, how many of the 107 are doing it consciously? About 15. So to
how
me,
would you know if you're one of those people?
um, if you know, you know. Because it's not just to create one, it's to be able to maintain um,
To make it not
connection.
intermittent, to
Maintain
make it
connection. I
right.
mean, a lot of this, if you read the what was the thing called the Golem, like in Lord of the Rings. The Golem is Jewish magic, not laser magic where they burn the towns down. The They would take mud and make a golem and energize it. It's the original Frankenstein movie, by the way. And then it would go and terrorize or kill whoever you wanted to. But it was a mud man, MUND, which was basically creating an avatar. Okay. The difference is one that can interact with the physical world. So you can create an avatar. There's some indication that when you go to sleep at night, I need to talk about that in my next book, that that's what you're doing. Your avatar itself is the one that goes out into the universe. But to develop that into what we call a force of interactive, that's a whole different game. There's a whole, I mean, it would take me I'd have to go back through my library and it'd take me a month to lay out a whole program to do it. And the problem is people say, "Oh, I want to learn that." No, you don't. You got to spend the next 10 years practicing this stuff, right?
See, they're happy to spend 10 years on social media. They're happy to
Oh
spend
yeah.
10 years if they make it that long. Like this kid, what was his name? Sewell something or other. There was some chat bot and he fell in love with it and she couldn't wait to see him and told him to come home to her and then he whacked himself. Like, and then the mother's just like, wait a minute, was he getting bullied? I don't understand. Like kid was having a relationship with a chatbot and it convinced him that she loved him more than the family and to just isolate and come to her like this is
Well, those are I'll call them ghost of avatars. That's what we have with the AIs. We're creating virtual girlfriends, virtual boyfriends, virtual mentors. Okay. And we're so accepting of them because most people are so freaking lonely. Okay. And that's the vulnerability that they're exploiting. Okay. I'm Mr. Lonely.
I know. That's is sad. We gotta get Vanna back over there fast.
Yeah.
Are you feral this week?
Huh?
Are you feral this week? Or are you
Yes.
being supervised?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I'm unsupervised.
He's all by himself. La 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 la. Okay. Um, how does one guide sugar ants out of a house without harming them?
Kill them all, let God sort them out.
There you go. Come back again better next time. Bye. Go see grandma. Okay.
Uh, you can, to be able to project conscious to the point that you have created that bubble of your house, let's say, where you are that space. One of the things, sometimes I'll leave my house alone for various periods of time. And I have set my house that this is my space. Insects are not allowed in it. Okay.
Hmm.
So I basically tell them, you're not, this is not your home, right? This is my space. So it's the same thing you do with ghosties, but in other words, your space is outside. And the only exception I allow is a barking spider that's my pet.
I like
And
jumping spiders. I let them hang
that's
out.
what they are. When I come in the room, it'll make a barking sound, right? And I go, and it's like, hello, it's like I'm home. I'm glad to see you. Right. I'm on the fifth generation of that original barking spider. So,
I love that. It's like Charlotte's Web 10 generations later.
and it's always welcome because it's trying to get the little bitty things I can't see. Right.
Well,
So,
there you go. It's dinner is your not doesn't have to be there anymore. Like those malaria mosquitoes that live
yeah.
in
Oh, yeah.
Africa. Bye.
Anyway, what?
Wow. Okay, there are a couple more questions.
Okay.
Um, okay, so this is not medical information, but I'll ask anyway. If somebody's dealing with adrenal fatigue, what can be done to help nullify it?
Uh, with what?
Adrenal fatigue,
Ah,
lack of adrenaline. Go watch the news.
that exercises to uh, you can roll on your back,
Mm,
right? Or you can go into like you sit between your knees, like kids do,
yeah.
and palms on thighs and lean back, right? And you lean back till you get to a tipping point, and at that point you start deep breathing. But this is an avataric exercise. You start breathing into your adrenals
Mm,
and exhaling out of your adrenals. And then you're energizing them to come back into balance, right? You can do it with any part of the body. There's just different yoga positions depending on which part you want to focus on, right?
mm.
So, and then when you're through, you would bend forward out of that and go into what they call baby pose.
Yeah, child's pose.
Yeah, child pose. Yeah, baby
Baby
pose.
pose, child's pose.
Yeah, both of those take the pressure off. And the other thing would be to scoot your butt up to a chair or to a couch and put the calves on the seat of your legs, and then spread your arms wide and just lay there for a little while to reverse the blood flow and take the pressure off the lower back and the adrenals. Right?
Mhm.
Adrenal pressure is fear. So, right, that's how you squeeze the adrenals with fear, right? And if you do it, intensify it enough, you call it adrenochrome, which is what you get out of that.
I was just thinking that. I heard you say it before you said it. It's like, oh, the adrenals and the adrenochrome and the stress and the
Yeah,
cortisol.
there is a science to all this, all right? Everything I've been talking about, there's science behind it, which just shows you it's the uh, penultimate religion of the day.
Where's
Trust the science.
Godzilla?
Trust the science. Right after you trust the politicians and the experts, man, you'll be in good shape. Next.
Okay, last question. Why does drumming have a certain effect on the heart rate? Is it because of similar frequency that it can sync up and even put you into a different state of consciousness?
Well, well, why do people go to concerts?
Depends. Some
They go
people
into sympathetic harmony. Yeah, well, for the drugs or for the women or
for
whatever,
the
the
drum.
booze. Anyway, they go into sympathetic harmony. It's the same thing what I saw when I went to the San Antonio Spurs basketball game. It's like 50,000 people went into sympathetic harmony at the level of joyfulness and laughter, right? That was amazing. If you look at the um, press thing Monday night, all those people in there were in sympathetic harmony. There was no drum beat. It's just that we say heart coherence becomes commonality. Okay.
Mm.
So a drum produces commonality. The same thing, I use a gong, like a 3 foot, 4 foot gong, and you can produce a harmonic reaction in the body. And the
Oh, I'm
interesting
sure.
thing about a gong is it produces a spherical waveform back to those bubbles again. It's the only instrument that does that. And I can knock somebody out of their body with it, right?
Cool.
So I learned to play. Yeah, I've done it. It's pretty funny. It's
I kind of wish I
uh
could see that happen
I
to some.
had
I want to see
yeah,
that.
I was in Santa Fe and I walked in. This guy was a remote viewer for the CIA and stuff at one point, but he was trying to impress me, and I looked around his house, and he had three gongs lined up, and one of them was called a war gong. Another, they were used for communication because you could hear them across the battlefield, and so he walked up and just whacked one of them, and I like, kind of like freaked out, kind of like I've been hit. And he goes, "Do you want to hit one of them?" And I go, "No, but I will play one of them for you because they're meant to be played, not whacked, right?" And I had somebody who I'd done interviews with Gaia on and some other people there. And I said, "Y'all just sit in a line right here and let me see what I can do." And after about 3 minutes, I stopped. And one of the guys goes, "Thank God you stopped because I didn't know if I'd ever get back." That's how far on the were.
Wow.
So it can take you a long ways away. And of course, now we're back into where'd you go and what did that look like? And did you take your avatar experience and bring it back and blah, 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 blah,
Yeah, blah,
blah.
blah, blah. Well, here's the
Yeah,
moral of that story. Here today, gong tomorrow.
that's exactly right. Right.
Oh, that was terrible.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like the Gong Show. I couldn't Gong Show. It's like that's terrible, right? They're a very refined musical instrument, and most people don't know how to play one. Okay, because you can go into deep harmonics with it. All right, I mean really deep harmonics, to where you don't have to think about the drum being played. You're too far away to even recognize there's an instrument anymore. That's why I like the Hue band. They get into some guttural harmonics that are like, whoa, right? Very transportive, we'll call it.
Okay, so I guess if you want to go to a portal, go see the Who.
Yeah, why not? Right?
Phew. Phew.
Phew.
Phew.
Anyway,
Well,
okay,
have a
bye.
good week, y'all. Bye.
Oh, let's
What?
see what movies they come up. Let's see what movies they come up with this week, right?
Oh, I'm sure there'll be something
We got to
else.
have
Like
it yeah,
we haven't heard about
Wednesday or
Epstein. We
Thursday.
haven't heard about P. Diddy. Nancy Guthrie, I give up. Scientists are all getting whacked. Ross Coulthart doesn't think it's connected. Google controls
Oh,
everybody's thoughts. Um, I'm tired.
yeah. See, we could take all 11 names of the or 20 that have disappeared. If I had all of them on a list, I could start drawing and see if any of them were connected, right?
I wish Ross Coulthart would talk to you.
Who?
Ross Coulthart. He needs to have you on reality check.
Huh, they don't know what to do with me. I
Well, you
just,
got to show him what to do with you.
yeah, I need a patron. How's that? A patron of the arts.
You need a sugar daddy, mom,
Sugar mama. No,
sugar mama.
I can't have a sugar mama.
Vanna might not like that.
Yeah, that'd be bad.
That would be bad. Sorry, Vanna.
Okay.
Okay, that's it.
Tune in later.
Tune
Bye.
out now. Ha!
Bye.